I have the option to pay into a 401k for my retirement, but I can't afford it. I mean, I need every dollar that comes out of my paycheck for basically for bills. I mean, so no, I don't think about retirement. Honestly, I don't even think about retirement. That's not even a thought that crosses my mind because I need to think about right now and how I'm going to get to the end of the week or how I'm going to get to the end of the month and how am I going to pay this bill next month and will I have enough money to, in a year move out or move away or do something that I want to do for myself. But unfortunately, yeah, I mean, I should probably be thinking about, when I'm older, but I can't. I can't do it. And I'm in a trap. If I don't stay positive and focused and think that if I don't keep being positive about getting out of my situation, then I could get stuck in a trap where I'm working for the same company, making the same amount of money, getting a 1% raise every year, and barely being able to scrape by. I think our country was started with good intentions, and we were told, in school, in grade school and everything, about the American dream and why people want to come to America, because you have freedom, because you can do whatever you want, and you really can't. I mean, you can't. You're obligated in some way to someone. I mean, whether it's with a bill or a job, because you have to have a job to be able to even have a house. I mean,
it's a giant trap that everyone seems to fall in, because they create the illusion of how easy it is to move up, and it's easy. You just you go to school, you take out some student loans, boom, there's your first thing, and then you take a credit card to purchase something because you're paying off your student loans, and the next thing you know, you fall into a trap. You become part of the certain class that you have been identified with immediately. And it's almost like you're stuck in that position just because of all the, it's all about making money for the people up top. They really don't care how, with everything going on with, just basically even with healthcare getting passed, how it got passed with cutting deals. They don't really care about, it's all about a giant money scheme. There's obviously money behind everything, credit cards, student loans. So anything you try to do to get ahead, there's someone behind that scene basically making money off it. And when you do that, it's really not bettering yourself. You're really just bettering the guy who's already been.
I think it's all to keep us where they want us. I don't think that they have our best interests in mind. I think that they're not stepping in. I don't know. I mean, those companies, obviously I'm just a piece of paper or a number, but I mean, the money that I'm paying to these companies is keeping them in business, and I'm working for a company that is, I work for an insurance company.
Alright, pretty much I feel the system that we have taken on, the United States of America, 25 years ago or so, and the pace that we're going, and the trends that we have set in the last decade, pretty much lead me to believe that there really is no other help, and we're basically the only help that we have, and everyone wants to rely on them because they're worried and they're scared, and fear is the number one tactic, is the government. And as we've seen, the government is stepping in more than ever. And I don't believe that trend's going to change, because people are always going to be looking for that job. And with the government taking on the car industry and talks about cap and trade going through, you have to really think, these are all just extra taxes and extra ways for the government to tell us what we have to do, for us to be secure, for us to feel safe. And I feel like if you end up relying on someone else to feel safe, it all starts with you and yourself. And I feel like the system that we're in really doesn't put you in a place to succeed at all, and you end up just getting behind. Select few will always make it, but the majority of people, no matter how you work, you always feel the way you felt, living paycheck to paycheck, no matter how old you get. And it's going to be hard to see people actually retire.
No, I don't see the government stepping in. I don't think that they I don't think they care. I think that this is what they want.
I think today, with the media and everything that goes on, it's hard to get the real story of what exactly is happening, because your NBC, your CBS, your Fox News, they all actually lead to the same few people and corporations that own Time Warner and Disney, and you get to your big corporations. There's always those few people, those few elite that sit up on top, and I think the only way you can actually hear about that stuff, because those companies can't do it because there's their job on the line, so they have to report what is sent down to them. Is going online, looking at YouTube videos. There's a lot of stuff that the average American does not know, because there's no reason for them to know unless you want to, are interested in yourself of why all this is randomly happening. But actually, if you look into it, you can see that there's always been those few that have sat up top ever since the beginning of the First World War, Second World War, that people have funded both sides of the war. They kind of always set Americans up for failure with the certain laws and taxes they've created, basically to put a lot of Americans behind the eight ball, so they're stuck in government programs. And I think it's kind of just over time, it's a brainwash technique where the government eventually could just do a lot of things where it's not going to really help you out at all, like they say. It's just really just any rights that you have are just becoming smaller and smaller, and eventually you're going to be, you're not going to have many rights at all, and the government's going to tell you where to work and how long you got to work, and it's pretty scary to think about.
What about the people that are going to go to college now? I mean, how are they going to pay for it? And are they going to take out student loans, and it's going to be more money? And what's going to happen when they graduate? I mean, because right now the economy is not getting better, and there's fewer and fewer jobs, and so when those people graduate from college and they get a job that pays them barely enough money to live, what kind of situation are they going to be in? Is it going to be worse than what I'm in right now? I don't know. One thing that they should tell you, I think an admissions counselor or financial aid counselor should sit down with people and tell them that if you want to be able to have a decent standard of living when you graduate from college, you should pay on your student loans while you're in school, or because that's when the interest is not accumulating. When you graduate, that's when the interest starts accumulating, and if you go into forbearance, the interest is still, even though you have a 6-month grace period to not pay when you graduate, there's still interest that's accumulating on those loans. And then every time you go into a forbearance, which you get so many, the interest is still accumulating on those loans. The only way for the interest to stop accumulating is to get back in school. So, my light at the end of the tunnel is get back in school. And I mean, luckily with my degree, which is social work, and then if I go into counseling or psychology, there are jobs for that. But I'll still have to pay on. I'll be paying on these loans probably for the rest of my life. And when we started college, we all met with a financial aid counselor, but no one told us anything about, we weren't educated, I guess, on, we were told you're going to have a job. When you graduate from college, you're going to have a job and you're going to be able to pay your bills. No one ever said, look, if you take out this much money for student loans to pay for your college for a year and your books, because honestly, tuition, there's more than just the tuition that you're paying to the college. There's books, there's fees, there's all kinds of stuff that you have to pay on top of just the tuition. So if you take out just this amount of money, these are what your payments are going to be when you graduate, with the interest. I think if somebody sat down with students entering into college, or people starting to go back to school, and told them realistically what they would be paying, I think a lot more people would go to school part-time or get a job and pay their way through school rather than take an easy way out, or a common way out, I guess, and get loans.